The best part about EcoLeaf is, you know, when you're using your 980s off your $9,800 imbalance or your revenue tax off your city county, and you're working on taxes and you're doing groups of 980 and you're working on $98,000 worth of products for the next decade. You know, that's just basically seeing the money run, $20 run, 299 hours at a time. So basically, you just seeing $980 being paid off 42 times, and yeah, it's basically where you're getting closer to your 9,800, where you spend that on your checkings account and banking account, and you eat, all for 442 weeks. That's a whole $32,562. So that goes to Chime, PMC, and PMC 2 Square, 742, and MoneyGram, and moreover, you got more types of companies that do that as well that I'm familiar with. And that's the point of the day. We're using familiar companies that we're familiar with, and being able to use their strategies as well as use our strategies, but paying them for more than 327 transactions. So they're getting their full pay 999% of the time, just like the truck, they got their payment. They got paid $34,926, and being able to implement a dollar from a 10 is more of where that came from. More than that, that was more than 360% of its yearly deposit. Knowing that it wasn't a 2012 or a 2015. That was where it got its 360% ratings, and being able to afford it at a $24,000 payment instead of a $38,000 payment. So all you had to do is just pay 30,000 down flat, and you had a payment. And that's basically where you was using more of 9210, and that's basically using 9800 two times, or I'm using 9800 two times. Yeah, I'm using it two times, and being able to transition that with PMC 2 Squared and MoneyGram, and that's what helps the EcoLeave strategy out, as we use the tax services, and be able to use more accommodations as far as the workflow goes, and those different contributions. And it's basically where you're paying more potent, and or more potent, other than giving out just one dime. So giving out one dime is less important than giving out 327 dimes a month. And it's basically where you could work on a whole way how you can pay a truck off or a vehicle off. Being able to use 321 months of trans tax, whatever your company is, or whatever your standard living is, that you able to use or buy a $30,000 vehicle. Because other than that, you have to have a driver's license, so you have to have some type of legitimate identification to be able to have an authorized item of motor transportation. And that's basically how you get your license and your driver's license at this time. So that's just been here since 1739 to 1933, and we've been working on that since 1908. So we're at 1908 now, and we're working on more of 2024 in 1933, and being able to make that a whole composition between 94 years, 24 years, and 64 years. And that's what Pickle does, as they use that as a transition into generations of newer propositions and districts within the local county. of the local 371 different individuals that was around that transaction when that transaction took off. And that's basically being a part of 1839, and being a part of James Madison and John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. And that's basically 327 p.m. You basically going through this in Boston atmosphere. So, you can be anywhere you want to be. You can be at Zilker, you can be at McKinney Falls, you can be at Barton Creek Mall, and it still be a Boston atmosphere somewhere. You can have like 327 different Boston atmospheres and it still be Boston. So, that's basically when you're going up against greater common noun. So, that's basically where you're getting a whole trademark of landscaping, specifically for that country. And, it's basically where you're working on 964 different states in that country. And, that's basically a part of everybody's mid state, you know. So that's like 964 different countries in the United States of America as of 1964 to 2013. And yeah, it's basically where we were using 427 dimes of difference going from West Coast to East Coast. And it's basically where we're using a bigger advancement to cover the process of elimination charters as we cross high school borders. And that's basically where we're using a lot of separation of powers and process of elimination in that Bill of Right trailer. And that's basically where you're getting a greater capitalized capital reserve trademark going on. That's basically using a program of the same authorized documents 327 more times, going a whole nother way. And so instead of it being Pennsylvania, Boston, Rhode Island, or New York, this goes 327 other ways after it hits the midpoint. So it looks more like another USPS driver in 3692, 1936 to 2032. So it looks like a newer USPS driver in the urban day centric. So you're able to see an Infiniti or a Cadillac or something like that in the country, and has paid profits on his capital tyranny. Is able to put in his work 1934 to 2003. So it's be able to. You got a lot of people being relaxed on that. So that's basically where you get more cooling compressing to the 9:15 a.m. Schedule that we have for purple, orange, and green, 9:27 a.m. And majority of that attitude and emotion stuff comes from the Haraba Code. When somebody getting out of line, they have to remain in line to their hierarchy, like Hitler or Prince Al-Walid or Kim Jong-un or Putin. Those people are all against them with 327 dimes of 39.95 tens in their balance. So they have that every week. And that's basically where they're using a method of currency to cancellate and use process of elimination. So they're using the same thing as Reagan would use, as equally produces that to everybody in different spectrums of profiles. One is a state profile and one is a intercontinental profile. So we do that at Bill Worth Lot Industries and Enterprises and produce more appetite and entertainment, so you can have more special features and bonus features to look at. We're still on Big Mama's House and Fast and Furious 7 right now. So that's either what we're looking at or it's the next step. And you're looking at 1974 to 2018 over 2032. So if you're looking at 2018, there's no chance you're gonna be looking at 2032, because that is the surface. Even though we have TVs, and TVs add up to even more TVs since 2008. That's basically where we're looking at the whole spectrum of 2008 to 2018, but they still show the same thing, even though they have different displays. So, it's just that same $327 exchange with those types of acknowledgments. And, it's basically where you're learning more towards agricultural sciences and biology, and more into the aerospace technology. And that's basically coming along as you would have to do landscaping every now and then. So you got to keep up with the Galleria, or the Galaxy, or not the Galaxy, but the soil garden. So every day you're just using 3,900 of third grade, sixth grade, and fourth grade for 44,000 dimes at a time. And that's basically what Suncoast Resources would strongly suggest. And it's basically what we want to use in the pattern of compassions. And it's basically where we want to use 327 dimes every 327 p.m. and use that as a primary lead, or a primary investment. Being able to use that as a sort of investment, to where you spend your primary money on Postal One or Webull. You have to have a primary destination of where you spend your money. And that's basically what we've been learning in 1960 to 2022. You got to be more sufficient with how you carry yourself and your data of documents. So you're basically crossing 94 to 2003, and it's basically where you're coming in hands with the Capitol and the Bob Buick Museum and University of Texas at DK Royal Stadium. So you're seeing a lot of that in 9606, and it's basically where you're getting attached to local state. And being able to be a part of Texas, but not only Texas, but Midwestern territories. So that's basically where they use their column attributes on the periodic table. That's what Austin is known for, and UT Texas is known for. Austin is pretty much the outsider land of the living spaces, where you live at. So it's pretty much based in ACC's categories. And it's basically how you keep your e-home products clean, and being able to support upkeep. So that's 312 weeks out of 38,668 bucks and tens. So that's basically where you're keeping up a urbanized, simple document over yourself. So that's the Urban Days 96,600. As long as you can do that for 336 months, you good. So that's just $3,690. So he's just talking about that. So you're trying to get up to $36,962. By the time you get rid of that, you be in your new house, or your new property, or on your next journey. You basically already completed 3 years of 30 years. So that's basically where you're getting into your new house, and being able to update from 1930 to 2006 to 2026. And just like that, it's about time to get into a new house and understand the New Deal area of Comcast Grid, and getting into the studio area of Disney Channel, Max Preps, Disney Channel, Max Preps, and more towards the final point of literacy aiding.